Today I'm going to show you how to attach the head to one of these lace angels that I sell the patterns for. The lace angel has been finished, it's been made up, the wings attached, and it's all been stiffened, and it's ready to have the final finishing touches of the head put onto the angel. To do this we need a few tools. Obviously we need the glass bead for the angel head, we need the angel finish, and we also need a bead that is just slightly bigger than the neckline of the angel. This one is the ideal size because the apron, or the angel skirt, is going to sit on that. This one I tried initially and it is quite close to the hole and it would work, but I think this one is a slightly better size for it to hang on more safely. We also may or may not need a tiny seed bead to sit between the bead that's inside the skirt and the angel head. Sometimes the angel heads sit down very close to the lace and I feel they need a little bit of a spacer for a neck. We shall see how this one goes. You also need a pair of round nose pliers and ideally a pair of flat nose pliers, although they are an optional extra to make your life easier. A pair of cutters for wire, and a piece of dowel or a pencil to make the loop with. And obviously we need some wire. Now the wire, I'm often asked what thickness wire. I think this one is about 0.8 millimeters. You get different gauges depending where you get the wire from. It needs to just be stiffer and more substantial than the wire you use for spangling. That will be a little bit on the flexible side. We need a piece of wire, probably about 10-12 centimeters long. Cut it over rather than under if in doubt, and just cut that. Now we start off, we're going to make a little spiral for the bead that sits underneath the skirt to sit on. So take your round nose pliers at the end and just make a little loop to start off this spiral. Then take your flat nose pliers and, gripping it flat, turn it round like you're rolling up a Swiss roll. Just keep making this go round and round, keeping it flat, and this is going to form a little disc that will sit underneath the bead. Just take your time doing it so you make a nice neat job of it. Then you need to go around about 3 times around it, just so you've got a nice little platform for it to sit on. And you've now got that attached to the wire. We then, once we've got this little spiral, we bend it at right angles to the wire. We then put on the bead we've chosen to use. I'm using a pink one here, so hopefully you can see it better. And slide that down to the base, and you can see that now sits on there quite nicely. Then you get hold of your angel and you put that wire through the neckline of the lace. So you then have it hanging from the top on the bead. Now this one sits quite nicely. It fits in quite nicely with the pink gimp there, so it's not going to look out of place being pink. And because it sits quite nicely in there, we don't need that neck bead that I talked about to start off with. So we can put those to one side. Then we put the head on and have a look to see how it's going to look. And that's going to look quite nice now. We take the pliers again and, holding that, gripping the wire, and we just want a small space between the bead and the hanging loop. So I've put that about halfway down the pliers and I then make a right hand bend in the wire. Put the pliers down for a moment. We're then going to take the pencil or the wooden dowel to make a loop, and we're going to wrap this wire around the pencil, or in this case the loop. This is a little bit tricky, you need 3 pairs of hands to do it sometimes, so just bear with me while I make the loop. And you feel like everything's jumping out of your hands, and trying to do it in front of the camera is even harder. So we'll make the loop around there, make it nice and tight, and then you can slip that out and you've got a nice loop form there. This is going to be what you hang it onto your tree with, or wherever you're going to hang it up for Christmas. Then take your flat nose pliers again and hold that loop, and then the end of the wire is just wound around that little space that you created with the pliers. And try and wind it round nice and neatly. I know lace makers like nice and neat to make it a professional looking finish. And if you're just gripping this loop with the flat nose pliers, it keeps it nice and straight and doesn't pull it out of shape. Now you want to wire down as far as you can to the head, because this helps keep the head in position when it's hanging. And you can see now why I said cut it longer rather than shorter, because it does use up more wire than you think when you're wrapping it. And when you've got it down as far as you can give it another little pull with the pliers just to make sure it's down as far as you can. Then take your cutters and cut it off close. And if necessary, if the loop isn't quite as nice and round as you want, you can reuse that to make it nice and round. Then you have a nice hanging loop on which to hang your angel. Watch out for more videos coming soon. I'm going to make the angel up in the next one, so you'll be able to see how I attach all the wings and other bits to it. Thank you for watching.